Hey guys, it's Russell back, and on today's video I'm going to be installing the Lubelocker transmission gasket on our 700R transmission in the 89 Chevy K1500. I'm also going to be replacing the filter in the transmission, and I wanted to show you guys this gasket if you hadn't seen it before. This is kind of a newer item that they have, that Lubelocker has. If you go back and search the channel a couple years ago, I did a video on the differential gasket and how awesome that gasket was, and I saw that they had these for transmissions now, and I wanted to show you guys how awesome this gasket is. This is really a good gasket if you have problems with leakage. Sometimes these gaskets that you get in these kits, the filter kits, are not very good. Sometimes they're made out of cork. Then you have to use nasty RTV and coat the pan. These style transmissions are not designed to have RTV on them. Now, a lot of people, including myself, have used it before to seal the gasket, but they're designed to be put on dry. But if you got a cork gasket, you kind of have to use RTV. Now, the gasket that came with the filter that I got is a rubber gasket, just like the factory one, and I'm going to show you that next before I show you what's inside here. Okay, so here is the transmission filter kit that I have. It consists of the filter, it's got the rubber seal, and it's also got a very nice high quality rubber gasket. This happens to be a Wix filter, which is what I prefer, and they give you a really nice stock gasket. However, I don't want to use that. I want to use our Lubelocker gasket. Let me open this and show you what it looks like. Alright, so here is the Lubelocker gasket. It's made out of, it's got a thin metal core. I don't know if the camera's picking up, with rubber on the outside, and also this elastometer type of sealant on here. And it's hold on, get this orientated correctly, and it goes on just like that. It goes on dry, okay? You don't put any sealant, you don't put any tack adhesive. It goes on just like this. We're going to torque it to the factory 15 foot-pounds on this, and we're going to do it in, we're going to torque everything to 7 foot-pounds, and then we'll do the final torque at 15. But these gaskets are awesome. Okay, you do not need to put any messy RTV on here, and I could go on and on, but you know what? Let's go underneath the truck. Let me show you where we're at. Obviously, I've got the pan off already, and I'm going to show you how to properly install the filter. And you need to make sure that, as in the case of this filter, there were actually 2 of these up in the port where this tube goes, because they had not taken the old one out. But let's go underneath the car, or the truck, and I will show you how to install this properly. Alright, here we are underneath the transmission, the bottom where the pan would sit, and as you can see, I have cleaned the mating surface. I will do one final wipe down with some acetone and a paper towel, and I want to show you, if I can move this, right there, that hole should not have any gasket material in there at all. There were 2 seals in there when I took this filter off. And all you do is you take some of the transmission fluid, and you're going to put a little bit on the gasket surface, which I'm doing. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Okay, so it's going to be lubricated like that, and we're just going to take this and place it right up in there. Alright, I'm going to have to use 2 hands to do this, and I'll be right back. Okay, when you get this in, it will snap into place. It will rotate a little bit, but just make sure it's kind of square to the valve body. Go ahead and clean either with some brake parts cleaner. I like using acetone. And I'll give this one final wipe down. And I've already got the bolts cleaned up. And then I'll start putting the bolts in, and I'll bring you back in when I'm done with that. Alright, so I have torqued all the bolts down to 15 foot-pounds. I did it in 2 increments, one at 7.5, and then I went around and did it at 15. So this should be it. Once I cycle the transmission, full heating and cooling a couple times, maybe the next week, I'll go back and check the torque. But all that's left to do now is to go ahead and refill the transmission with our fluid, and we'll do that next. Alright, so my fluid of choice is going to be the AMSOIL synthetic ATF. This is really, really good stuff. This truck, I believed, originally used, I don't know, Dextron 2. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show you I have let this run to full operating temperature, and we've got absolutely no leaks at all. This is why I used the Lubelocker gasket, is because you're just not going to, if you follow the directions, you do what it says, don't use any RTV, torque everything to manufacturer specs if you're using the stock pan, and if you're using an aftermarket pan, torque it to their specs. Do it in 50% at a time increments, and you're not going to have any leaks. So super good product. Cannot recommend them enough. And of course, my neighbor, if he doesn't have his dog barking, he's over there cutting his lawn. Nice. So anyway, I do have another video of where I'm going to be changing out the gasket on the rear differential in the Chevy. It's a 10 bolt, and we will be swapping the fluid over to AMSOIL, and also be using the Lubelocker cover gasket for that too. And guys, I hope that this was informative. I hope that you maybe if you didn't know about the Lubelocker gaskets, that you do now. And I will talk to you on the next video.